Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Pada Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuro Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavasya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Dev Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhut Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Niti Namin Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashate Deshatan Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. We'll continue with our Chaitanya Charitamrita discussion. Now we are continuing with the 7th chapter of the Antya Lila, and the 7th chapter is entitled Chaitanya Mahaprabhu meeting Vallabha Bhatta. So we know that once Vallabha Bhatta comes to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so much overwhelmed. Anybody he sees, he feels that they are the devotees of Lord Krishna, and he himself is nothing. So then Mahaprabhu started glorifying Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, he started glorifying Ramananda, he started glorifying Advaitacharya. Everybody he's telling that how they are all the great devotees of the Supreme Lord, and from them it is he who has learned something. He doesn't have his own qualification. So in that mood, then he comes to the mood of glorifying Krishna, and so that is the section which we are doing now. So we'll continue with our discussion. We are at Antya Lila 7:31. Shloka 31. Devotees can raise your hands. Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji, Swati Mataji. 7:31. Yeah.
Mora Sakha Mora Putra E Shuddha Mana Ata Eva Shuka Vyasa Kare Prashamsana. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. In pure Krishna consciousness, without knowledge of the Lord's opulences, a devotee considers Krishna his friend or son. Therefore, this devotional attitude is praised even by Shukadeva Goswami and Vyasadeva, the supreme authority.
So that is the mood of Vrindavan, where the sakhas, the gopas of Krishna, consider him as their friend rather than the Supreme Lord. So that is a speciality, and that is praised by Shukadeva Goswami and Vyasadeva. That is how Krishna has allowed himself to his devotees at Vrindavan. Mataji, next one.
Ittam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dashyam gatanam paradevatena maya shritanam narada darakena sakham vrija sakham vijaruha krita punya puja. Translation: neither those who are engaged in self-realization, appreciating the Brahman effulgence of the Lord, nor those engaged in devotional service while accepting the Supreme Personality of Godhead as matter, nor those nor those who are under the clutches of Maya, thinking the Lord an ordinary person, can understand that certain exalted personalities, after accumulating volumes of pious activities, are now playing with the Lord in friendship as coward boys. These words from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.12.11. Hare Krishna Mataji.
So it is not through Mayavad, it is not through liberation, it is not through understanding the Supreme Lord, not through knowledge, Gyan, Vigyan. It is not through that one can get the position of or doing a lot of punya karma or doing lot of charitable activities, that one can become the Sakya or the friends of the Supreme Lord. Okay, next one, Mataji.
Mataji, can you scroll up?
Yeah, happening. 1 minute. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
त्रयाकोपनिषद्धिश्च साङ्ख्ययोगिश्च सत्त्वथायि उपगीयमाना माहात्म्यं हरिं समान्यतात्मजम्. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Mother Yashoda saw all the universes within Krishna's mouth, she was astonished for the time being. The Lord is worshipped like Indra and other demigods by the followers of the three Vedas, who offer him sacrifices. He worshipped as impersonal Brahman by saintly person who understand his greatness through studying the Upanishads, as the Purusha by great philosophers who analytically study the universe, as the all-pervading super soul by great yogis, and as the supreme personality of Godhead by devotees. Nevertheless, Mother Yashoda considered the Lord her own son. This verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.45.
So the Supreme Lord, the absolute truth, Sri Krishna is considered as the Supreme Lord, as the impersonal Brahma, as the Paramatma in the heart. Through it is told in the Vedas, in the Upanishads, it is described how the greatness of Lord Krishna, and the devotees consider him as a supreme personality of Godhead, the all-knower, the all-knowledgeable. And there is nothing greater or equal to the Supreme Lord. So we all glorify Krishna in that way, and that is, we know Krishna that way. But the same Krishna has been perceived by Yashoda as his own little son, absolutely not tainted by any kind of awe and reverence. That is the love of Vrindavan. That is the speciality of Vrindavan. Even in Mathura, the 5 rasas are present. See, if it is in Vaikunta, it's only 2.5 rasas that are present. That is, we have the Shanta rasa, the Dasya rasa, and the Sakya rasa only in a very small portion. Because even in the Sakya rasa also, still the devotees know that it is the Supreme Lord, and they cannot sit on Krishna's shoulder. That is not possible in the Vaikunta Loka. Still they consider him with awe and reverence. So it is called as only 2.5 rasas are there in Vaikunta. But when it comes to the Mathura, all 5 rasas are there. But how it is they know, they play with Krishna, they know, but still they know that they know that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the Lord also. Like, for example, Devaki knew Krishna was her son. Devaki also knew that he was the Supreme Lord. So she had both the knowledge. She knows he is her. He came out of her womb, but she knows that he is the Supreme Lord. So that's why it is a mixed. There is nothing pure, only my son. That concept is not there in Mathura. So Vrindavan is much superior to Mathura that way, because once when Yashoda, we know this Damodar pastime, what happens? We know the Damodar pastime. And then Damodar pastime, what happens is Damodar, our Krishna, does nutcut. And then Mother Yashoda gets angry. She chases him. He runs. And then she binds him. Eventually, she binds him to the grinding mortar. And then she was away. And at that time, when this was happening, Balram was not there. So then later, after some time, Balram comes and he is like, what happened? And sees Krishna, and Krishna is bound, and he's like, Krishna, what happened? And then Krishna says that there is no one to take care of me here. There is any anyaya can happen here. See, today they have tied me. All these things he says, but he does not do that Yashoda tied me. Then Balram says, Arey, like that? But who did this? Who tied you? Then he says, Mother Yashoda. Oh, then when Mother Yashoda name came, then Balram cannot overpower Mother Yashoda in Vrindavan. So he was like, oh, Mother Yashoda. And he keeps his volume became little low. And at that time, Mother Yashoda comes and he's like, Mother Yashoda, why did you tie Krishna? Then she says, why should I not tie Krishna? He has done such a big mischief. Then Balram says, you know, he's a supreme Lord, he's a supreme personality of Godhead. He is the Maha, the Deva, all Deva and Devatas worship him. Like that, he started glorifying Krishna. Then Yashoda is like, oh, really? Then who are you? Then he says, I am the Sankarshan, I am Ananta Sesha, I am eternally the servant, and I am eternally the snake who appears in the Garbhodakshaya ocean. So he started telling about his features as Balram. Then he says, oh, like that. So everybody had to come and take birth in my house only. And she picks up a stick. And when she picks up the stick, Balaram just runs. So the point is, even when it is told to Yashoda that he is a supreme lord, but Yashoda still considers Krishna as her own little son. So that is the speciality of Madhurya Dham. That is the speciality of Vrindavan. So all those things now Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is remembering, and he is so much overwhelmed by love for Krishna. Next one, Mataji.
Nanda kim akarod brahman shreya evam mahodayam yeshodava mahabhaga papau yashaha sthanamari. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Oh Brahmana, what pious activities did Nanda Maharaja perform to receive the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna as his son? And what pious activities did Mother Yashoda perform that made the absolute personality of Godhead Krishna call her mother and suck her breast? Purport: this verse is from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.46.
So all this they have been Kaviraj Goswami is including here that these were the narrations in the Srimad Bhagavatam where they have been asked that how was Nanda Maharaja and Yashoda were so fortunate to be the parents of Lord Krishna. Yes, Mataji.
ऐश्वर्य देखिलेह शुद्धेरन हि ऐश्वर्य ज्ञान आत एव ऐश्वर्य हैते केवल भाव प्रधान. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Even if a pure devotee sees the opulence of Krishna, he does not accept it. Therefore, pure consciousness is more exalted than consciousness of the Lord's opulence.
Yeah, so what happened is when Arjuna saw Krishna in his Vaibhava, complete Vaibhava, and his full glory as in the universal form he sees, then he could not connect on. He's like, no, I don't want this form. Please come back to my 200 form. He comes to 400 form. He's like, no, not even 400 form. And come back, my friend Krishna. And that is what the devotee always looks forward as a that kind of a rasa. Those who have now the pure devotees of the Lord, they want that kind of rasa with the Supreme Lord. They don't want the rasa of awe and reverence. So they cannot accept it, does not digest, it does not enter in their consciousness, it does not logically fit that no. So his opulence does not take prominence. Basically, Krishna's opulence does not take prominence. His love and affection takes prominence. Sumati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare.
Esa bash chikhaila more Raya Ramananda Anargala Rasaveta Prema Sukhananda. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ramananda Raya is extremely aware of transcendental mellows. He is incessantly absorbed in the happiness of ecstatic love of Krishna. It is he who has taught me all this.
So he says all this knowledge I got from Ramananda Raya. Like that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is the Supreme Lord himself, is glorifying his devotees in front of Vallabha Bhatt. Mataji, next one. Answer.
Kahananaya Ramanandera Prabhava Raya Prasade Janilu Vrajera Shuddha Bhava. Translation: it is impossible to describe the influence and knowledge of Ramananda Raya, for only by his mercy have I understood the unalloyed love of the residents of Vrindavana.
So he says that in front of Ramananda Raya, I'm nothing, and it is because of him today I'm able to understand the love of the residents of Vrindavan. Like that, Mahaprabhu is showing his humility. Yes, Mataji.
Yes. Damodara Swarupa Prema Rasa Murtiman Yara Sange Haila Vraja Madhura Rasa Jnana. Translation: the transcendental mellows of ecstatic love are personified by Swarupa Damodara, By his association, I have understood Vrindavana's transcendental mellow of conjugal love.
So he is glorifying devotees one by one. He's to Ramananda Rai, now he's to Swarup Damodar Goswami. He is the ocean of the knowledge of Madhurya Rasa. Through him, I am able to understand how the Madhurya Rasa is prominent in Vrindavan. Like that he's telling. Mataji, yes, next.
Shuddha prema vraja devira kama gandha hina Krishna sukha tatparya evitara China. Translation. The unalloyed love of the gopis and Srimati Radharani is without any trace of material lust. The criterion of such transcendental love is that its only purpose is to satisfy Krishna.
So that is so it is called as unalloyed love. So we also, as sadhana devotees, we want to satisfy Krishna. We have it, but our purpose, we want to satisfy Krishna. We want to satisfy Guru. We don't want to offend the devotees. So that kind of purpose we also have. But is it only our purpose? Means are we living every moment of our life with that purpose in forefront? That is, every action of me should be to satisfy Krishna, Guru and Krishna only. When I do this, I think whether it satisfies Krishna. If I do this, I think whether it satisfies Krishna. So if our entire life is focused that its only purpose is to satisfy Krishna, not satisfying myself, not satisfying anybody else, not doing any kind of show off, not kind of thinking that it's okay. No, not being careless in devotional service. No, my focus, dedicated, striving hard, and always 24 by 7 focused with its only single-handed purpose of satisfying Krishna. That is the love of Radharani, and that is the love of the gopis. So they stand there. So we are Baddha Jivas here because we have mixed devotion. That is, we want Krishna's love also. We want to try. We are trying, but here, there, we have our own agendas also. Mataji, next one.
Yes, ma'am. Yatte sujata charana bruham staneshu Vita shanaihi priyadadimahi karkasheshu Tena tavim atasi tatvyatatena kim svet Purpadibhir brahmatidhir bhavadayusham naha. Translation. O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our lives rest only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. Purport. This verse is spoken by the gopis in Srimad Bhagavatam 10.31.19.
So constantly Krishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is remembering the deep Madhurya Rasa by the devotees of Vrindavan Dham, and is just relishing those mellows, and in the process he's glorifying his devotees, telling that because of his devotees he's able to understand this Rasa, and he's going on reciting the different verses which add to the Madhurya Bhav of the Vrindavan Dham. Krishnamurti Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Dandavat pranams Prabhuji.
Mataji, I am little bit outside. Is there any disturbance? I will stop. Okay?
Okay.
Gopi Ganera Suddha Prema Aishwarya Gnana Haina Premate Bharstana Karehi Tarachina. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Obsessed with pure love, without knowledge of appearances, the gopis sometimes chastise Krishna. That is a symptom of pure ecstatic love.
So they are so much overwhelmed, like we heard the pastime of Yashoda, where she ties Krishna. Similarly, the gopis also, because of the unalloyed love for Lord Krishna, they chastise Krishna. Similarly, the gopas of Vrindavan also, they sit on Krishna's shoulders. They fight. They have a wrestling match with Krishna. They defeat Krishna. Krishna gets defeated. So these are all the wonderful pastimes of Vrindavan. Yes, Prabhuji, next one.
Pati Sutanvaya Mataji.
Pati Sutanmaya
Sanvaya Bhatir Bandhavan. Am I right, Mataji?
Yes, read it.
Ati Vingalenete Niti Achyuta Gataha.
Ati Vilangeti Antyachyuta Gataha.
Please, Mata, you read, Mata.
Gati Vidastavoddgita Mohita Kitavayoshita Kastyajennishi. Yes, translation you read.
Oh, thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna, translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Oh dear Krishna, we gopis have neglected the order of our husbands, sons, family, brothers and friends, and have left their company to come to you. You know everything about our desires. We have come only because we are attracted by the supreme music of your flute. But you are a great cheater. But for who else would give up the company of young girls like us in the dead of night? This was from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.31.16.
Yeah, the 10th canto, 30th, 35 chapters are focused with the Rasa Lila, Panchodhyaya, Rasa Panchodhyaya actually they are called, the Maharasa, where Maharasa dance that happened, where Krishna plays his flute in the middle of the night and all the gopis just drop whatever they were doing and they just coming running to please Krishna, to be with Krishna. They just come running. And that is the time the gopis tell to Krishna that we just neglected everybody and we have come to be with you for that Rasa Leela. Yes, Prabhuji.
सर्वोत्तम भादने ये सर्व भक्ति जिने अतएव कृष्ण कहे अमितो मारुणे. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. This conjugal love of the gopis is the most exalted devotional service, surpassing all the methods of bhakti. Therefore, Lord Krishna is obliged to say, my dear gopis, I cannot repay you. Indeed, I am always indebted to you.
So when the gopis express to Krishna that they have left everything and come, so Krishna says, I have nothing in my capacity to repay your love. It is, I'm always indebted to you. So that is the kind of relationship with Krishna and the gopis are there. That's absolutely, we cannot comprehend what kind of love they have for each other. Yes, Prabhuji, next one.
Okay, Mataji, you have to.
न पारेऽहं निरवद्य संयुजां स्वसाधु कृत्यं विबुधायुसापि वः या मां भजन् दुर्जया गेयशृङ्खला संरश्चया तद्वप्रतियातु साधुना. Prabhuji, yes.
Okay. Translation by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Oh gopis, I am not able to repay my debt for your spotless service, even within a lifetime of Brahma. Your connection with me is beyond reproach. You have worshipped me, cutting off all domestic ties which are difficult to break. Therefore, please let your own glorious deeds be your compensation.
So like that,
this quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam 10.32.22.
So that way Krishna is acknowledging the love of gopis. Prabhuji, next one.
Okay. ऐश्वर्य ज्ञान हैते केवल भाव प्रधान पृथ्वीते भक्त नहीं उद्धव समाना. Translation by C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada ki jai. Completely distinct from love of Krishna is opulence. In opulence, pure love of Krishna is on the highest level, on the surface of the world. There is no devotee greater than Uddhava.
So he glorified Ramanandra, he glorified Saurabha Bhattacharya, he glorified Radharani, he glorified the gopis of Vrindavan. Now he's started glorifying Uddhava. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mataji, Dr. K. Karpagavali Mataji had raised her hand.
I'll read Mataji.
Yes.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Then I'm on text 46. Sena Yandra Padaduli Karina Pratanam Pratanam Sarupa Sanjay Pailangi Sabha Sikshana. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. Uddhava desires to take on a step the dust of the gopis' lotus feet. I have heard about all these transcendental loving affairs of Lord Krishna from the Sarupa Damodara.
So like that, Mahaprabhu is glorifying because the Uddhava, we know that Uddhava Gita, how we know that once when Krishna leaves Vrindavan and has gone to Mathura and there are too much of separation, then once Krishna sends Uddhava to Vrindavan to pacify the gopis. But by seeing Nanda, Maharaj, Nanda, Yashoda and the gopis and what is that kind of love they are exhibiting towards Krishna, they are not drinking, they are not eating, they don't want anything in this life, they just want Krishna, and rivers of water like tears are flowing like rivers. So by seeing that, Uddhava understands that if I was thinking that anyway I am the devotee of Krishna, I am not. And he prays that let me become like a Gulmalata. Gulmalata is a blade of grass in Vrindavan, so that the gopis, when they are walking around in the mood of Krishna, they stamp on him because grass is on the floor and the gopis will walk on the grass. So that is the mood, that is what Uddhava gets a deep realization, because somewhere he was thinking that I am the greatest devotee. But when saw the gopis, he understood that he is just tucha. So here that has been told that where Uddhava desires to take on his head the dust of the gopis, and this details Mahaprabhu is telling that he heard from Swarup Daman. Mataji, next one.
46, 47.
Asam aho charan renu jusham aham syam. Like that you read.
Asamaho charanarenu jusa aham swam vrindavani api kulma latau sada dinam yasyayajam prajanam aryapadam cha isvam vejur mukunta tapadavim vimbrigam. Translation by Prabhupada Kiji. Translation purport by Prabhupada Kiji. The gopis of Vrindavana had given us the association of their husbands, sons and other family members who were very difficult to give up, and they have forsaken the path of chastity to take shelter of the lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, which one should search for by Vedic knowledge. Oh, let me be fortunate enough to become one of the bushes, sweepers or herbs in Vrindavana, for the gopis trample them and bless them with the dust of their lotus feet. Purpose by Prabhupada. This Prabhupada teaching, this verse from Srimad Bhagavata 10.47.61 was spoken by Uddhava. When Uddhava was sent by Krishna to see the condition of the gopis in Vrindavana, he stayed there for a few months in their association and always talked with them about Krishna. Although this greatly pleased the gopis and other residents of Ujjamuni, Vrindavana, Uddhava saw that the gopis were severely afflicted by the separation from Krishna. Their hearts were so disturbed that their minds were sometimes deranged. Observing the unalloyed devotion and love of the gopis for Krishna, Uddhava decided to become a creeper, a blade of grass, or a herb in Vrindavana, so that sometimes the gopis would trample him and he would receive the dust of their lotus feet on his head.
So this was the mood of Uddhava. We just discussed about that actually. Next one, Mataji.
48. Haridasa Takura Mahabhagavata Pradana Pratidina Layatina Dina Lakshanama. Translation by Prabhupada Kiji. Haridasa Thakura, the teacher of the holy name, is the most exalted of all pure devotees. Every day he chants 300,000 holy names of the Lord.
So now Mahaprabhu is glorified Haridas Thakur also. Is basically glorifying all the devotees. So this is a very important understanding that so much of Vaishnava we need to glorify. We cannot condemn, we cannot be envious about other Vaishnavas, we cannot talk ill about against other Vaishnavas, but the whole point is to purify ourselves. We need to glorify the Vaishnavas. Yes, Mataji, next one.
Nami Mahima Ami Chandra Tani Sikulan Chandra Prasade Namira Mahima Jaminum. Translation by Prabhupada Kiji. I have learned about the glories of the Lord's holy name from Haridasa Thakura, and by his mercy I have understood these glories.
So he glorified Haridas Thakur, and he's like, otherwise he did not know the glories of the holy names. It's through Haridas Thakur, only because of Haridas Thakur, I am able to understand the glories of the holy name. Like that, Mahaprabhu says. Mataji, next.
Text 50 to 52. Acharya Anta
Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Pandita Gadadhara.
Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Pandita Gadadhara, Jagadananda Damodara, Sankara, Bhaktishwaram, Takishwaram Mukunda, Vasudeva Murari, Arayata Bhakta Gana, Gaude Avatari, Krishna Nami Prima Kili, Jagate Prachara, Inha Sabera Sange, Krishna Bhakti Mamara. Translation by Prabhupada Kiji. Acharya Ratna, Acharya Nidhi, Gadadhara Pandita, Jagannatha, Damodara, Sankara, Vakreswara, Tashiswara, Mukunda, and Vasudeva, Murari, and many other devotees have descended in Bengal to preach to everyone the glories of the holy name of Krishna and the value of love for him. I have learned from them the meaning of devotion service to Krishna.
So like that, Mahaprabhu is consciously, constantly, he is remembering every devotee and he's glorifying and is telling, because of that devotee, I learned this. Because of this devotee, I learned this. Because of the Haridas Thakur, I learned the holy name. And because of these devotees, I could understand what is devotional service. Like that, he is constantly glorifying the devotees. Padma Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams. Text 53. Bhatera Hridaya Drida Abhimana Jani Bhangikari Mahaprabhu Kahe Etavani. Translation by Sri Prabhupada Ki Jai. Knowing that Vallabha Bhatta's heart was full of pride, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu spoke these words, hinting at how one can learn about devotional service. Purport. Vallabha Bhatta was greatly proud of his knowledge in devotional service, and therefore he wanted to speak about Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without understanding the Lord's position. The Lord therefore hinted in many ways that if Vallabha Bhatta wanted to know what devotional service actually is, he would have to learn from all the devotees he mentioned, beginning with Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda, Sabrabhama Bhattacharya, and Ramananda Raya. As Swarupa Damodara he said, if one wants to learn the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam, one must take lessons from a realized soul. One should not proudly think that one can understand the transcendental loving service of the Lord simply by reading books. One must become a servant of a Vaishnava. As Gautama Dasa Thakur has confirmed, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva, Nistara Peche Keba. One cannot be in a transcendental position unless one very faithfully serves a pure Vaishnava. One must accept a Vaishnava Guru, Adav Gurva Ashrayam, and then by questions and answers one should gradually learn what pure devotional service to Krishna is. That is called the Parampara system.
So, when Vallabha Bhatta first approached Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he had a kind of pride, kind of thing that he is very learned, and he wanted to share, he wanted to show kind of his understanding about Lord, devotional service, what is devotion to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord in everybody's heart, understood that he had a little tinge of pride, and to make, because he loves his devotees. To help him, Mahaprabhu started glorifying all the devotees, telling that it is through the devotees that the devotional service comes. It is not directly simply by reading books we get understanding of who is Krishna, what is devotional service, and by serving the great devotees of the Lord that these devotional details enter into the core of the heart. So that is the lesson Mahaprabhu wanted to teach Vallabha Bhatta. Mataji, next one.
Text 54. Ami se Vaishnava Bhakti Siddhanta Sabha Jani Ami se Bhagavata Artha Uttama Vakhani. Translation by Sri Prabhupada. Vallabha Bhatta was thinking, I am a great Vaishnava. Having learned all the conclusions of Vaishnava philosophy, I can understand the meaning of Srimad Bhagavatam and explain it very well.
That was a thought of Vallabha Bhatta. Mataji, next one.
Text 55. बटेरा मनेते चिला दीर्घ ग्रवा प्रभु वचन सुनी सेहाइला करवा. Translation by Prabhupada ki jai. Such pride had existed for a long time within the mind of Vallabha Bhatta. But as he heard the preaching of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his pride was cut down.
So when Mahaprabhu spoke, his pride was completely cut. He was a nice devotee, but unfortunately he had a little pride. But because he was sincere, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu pleased, he immediately could realize that he was thinking and doing wrong like that. His understanding is not correct. So he should actually serve the Vaishnavas in order to get understanding of devotional service, not just by reading the books. Uma Devi Mataji.
Mataji.
Uma Devi, yes.
Yes, Mataji. प्रभुर मुखे वैष्णवता सुनिया सबारा भटेरा इच्छा है ताना सबरे देखी बारा. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. When Vallabha Bhatta heard from the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu about the pure Vaishnavism of all these devotees, he immediately desired to see them.
So immediately thought, yes, such great devotees I need to see like that.
Yes, madam. Text 57. Bhatta kahe e sabha Vaishnava rahe kon stane kon prakare paimu ihan sabara darshane. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vallabha Bhatta said, where do all these Vaishnavas live and how can I see them? Text 58. Prabhu kahe keha gaude keha desta nare desantare sabha aisi ache ratha yatra dheki bhare. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, although some of them live in Bengal and some in other states, they have all come here to see the Ratha Yatra festival.
So during Ratha Yatra, devotees from Bengal come to Jagannath Puri, and that was a Ratha Yatra season, and that is when Vallabha Bhatta comes to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu is glorifying the devotees. Now Vallabha Bhatta is very keen to meet the devotees, and Mahaprabhu is like, they're all in Jagannath Puri, because they have come to the Ratha Yatra festival. You can meet them here only, like that he says. Mataji, next one.
Text 59. Ihani rahe na sabe vasana na stane ihani paiba tumi sabara darshane. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. At present, they are all living here. Their residences are in various quarters. Here you will get the audience of them all.
Okay, next one.
Text 60. तबे भट्टा कहे बहु विनय वचना बहु दैन्य करी प्रभु रे कैलानी मंत्रणा. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Thereafter, with great submission and humility, Vallabha Bhatta invited Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to dine at his home.
Immediately, because Vallabha Bhatta was a little sincere also, his pride got crushed, and immediately he understood his position, and immediately he immediately pacified. So that is a very important lakshana of a devotee actually, because see, we all have some kind of conditionings because of previous lives, or because of our inheritance, or because of our environment, because of our association, because of our situation, some kind of pride or envy or some conditionings, basically conditionings we have. So when somebody tells about devotional service, we constantly hear, we chant, if we are sincerely chanting the holy names of the Lord, then we hear Krishna Katha, there is so much of Shravana, then we read Prabhupada books. So here, there, we get to understand that this is wrong, this is right, this is what we are supposed to do, this we are not supposed to do, do's, don'ts, do. We get to hear through reading or from devotees or through books or through lectures, we get to hear, and the core of the heart gets purified by chanting the holy names of the Lord. So, but then it takes our sincerity to immediately accept it and do the needful. That is the level, that is a question of point where sincerity comes into picture. We get to know, we are practicing, we are understanding that we are doing wrong things, we are understanding this is not the right thing. Some things are very subtle, like when it comes to pride, no, it is very, very subtle. It is that we don't see, I am proud. It's not like big pride. Small level of that ego will be there, where we understand, and we understand, oh, that means I should not do that. Also we understand. Then it depends what we want to do after that. We understand, we want to continue with our understanding, or we understand, no, I have to change. So for that, if this is required, if I have to serve these Vaishnavas for that, let me do it. If I have to go and glorify them, let me do it. If I have to serve them directly, let me do it. So that is what sincerity comes into picture. When we take that extra step, then Lord is very happy. Spiritual master is very happy. And more purification happens from the core of our heart. And for next time what happens, we don't feel, because that envy is removed. By the mercy of the Lord, it is removed. And because it is removed, same situation happens. It doesn't hurt us anymore because we don't have that envy. So that is how we progress in devotional service. That is the main thing in devotional service. We get to know, we choose to change ourselves. And when we choose, then Lord's mercy comes. And next time, it's easier to move on in the path of devotional service. Who wants to read next?
Mataji, can I continue?
You can continue. Yes.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Aradhina Sabha Vaishnava Prabhu Stane Aila Sabha Sane Mahaprabhu Bate Milaya. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The next day, when all the Vaishnavas came to the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord introduced Vallabha Bhatta to them all. Text 62. Vaishnavira Teja Deki Bhatte Rapka Mat
Chamatkara happened.
Tasa Bhara Age Bhatta Kadyota Akara. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. He was surprised to see the brilliance of their faces. Indeed, among them, Vallabha Bhatta seemed just like a glow.
Now Vallabha Bhatta clearly understood his position. He was just like a faint glowworm. That glowworm in the night, little tick light it gives. So his pride was like kind of understood that, oh, all others are really bright. I'm just like a glowworm. Mataji, next one.
Yes, Mataji. Text 63. Tabe Bhatta Bahu Maha Prasada Anaila Gana Saha Mahaprabhure Bhojana Karela. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then Vallabha Bhatta brought in a great quantity of and sumptuously fed Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates.
So then now Mahaprabhu, now 1 minute. Then Vallabha Bhatta, then he thought is, then he wanted to serve the devotees. Now he came in the mood of service to the devotees. So he purchased Jagannath Prasad and he served all those Maha devotees whom Mahaprabhu was referring. Everybody he serves Jagannath Prasad. Yes, Mataji, next.
Text 64. Paramananda Puri Sange Sanyasira Gana Ekadike Vaise Sabha Karite Bhojana. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All the sannyasi associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, headed by Paramananda Puri, sat on one side and thus partook of the prasadam.
Right. Next one.
Text 65. Advaita Nityananda Raya Parsve Duhi Jana Madhye Mahaprabhu Vasila Age Pache Bhakta Gana. Translation by Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sat in the midst of devotees. Advaita Acharya and Lord Nityananda each sat on one side of the Lord. The other devotees sat in front of the Lord and behind him.
So that way Mahaprabhu was also very pleased by the mood and attitude of Vallabha Bhatta. He accepted his offering and they all relished of prasad offered by Vallabha Bhatta. Next one, Mataji. Next one, our Swati Mataji.
Okay, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Gaudera Bhaktayata Kahite Nakari Angane Vasila Bhaba Hanasari Sari. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. The devotees from Bengal, whom I am unable to count, all sat down in lines in the courtyard.
So many devotees had prasad served by Vallabha Bhatta. Mataji, next one.
Prabhura Bhakta Gana Deki Bhattera Chamatkara Pratyeka Sabhara Pade Taila Namaskara. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. When Vallabha Bhatta saw all the devotees of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was greatly surprised. And in devotion, he offered his obeisance at the lotus feet of each and every one of them.
So that was a very big leap of faith. That was a very big step for Vallabha Bhatta, and he did it. Yes, Mataji, next one.
Swarupa Jagadananda Kashishwara Sankara Parishvena परिवेशन करे आरा राघव दामोदरा. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Vijay. Sarup Damodara, Jagadananda, Kashishvara and Sankara along with Raghava and Damodara Pandita took charge of distributing the prasadam.
Jai. Next one.
Mahaprasada Vallabha Bhatta Bahu Anila Prabhu Saha Sanyasi Gana Bhojana Vasila. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Vijay. Vallabha Bhatta had brought a large quantity of Mahaprasadam offered to Lord Jagannatha. Thus, all the sannyasis sat down to eat with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Very nice. Next one.
Prasada Paya Vaishnava Dhana Bhale Hari 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 Dvani Ute Sabha Brahmanda Bhari. Translation by Srila Prabhupada Vijay. Accepting the prasadam, all the Vaishnavas chanted the holy name Hari Hari. The rising vibration of holy name of Hari filled the entire universe.
So much. It was so good. Vallabha Bhatta bought so much of prasad. Everybody served prasad. Everybody ate in leather. Unlimited wood. So much of Vaishnava seva Vallabha Bhatta did. Who wants to read next one? We have another set which we can finish today. Who is that? Sumati Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. 1 minute. Mala Chandana Guva Kapana Anika Anila Sabha Puja Kari Bhatta Anandita Haila. Translation. When all the Vaishnavas had finished eating, Vallabha Bhatta brought a large quantity of garlands, sandalwood, pulp, spices, and betel. He worshipped the devotees very respectfully and became extremely happy.
Yes, next one.
Ratha Yatra Dine Prabhu Kirtana Arambhila Purva Vatsata Sampradaya Vitakarila. Translation. On the day of the car festival, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began the congregational chanting. As he had done previously, he divided all the devotees into 7 groups.
Next.
Advaita Nityananda Haridasa Vakreshwara Srivasa Raghava Pandita Gadadhara Satajana Satathai Karena Nartana Hari Bola Bali Prabhu Karena Brahmana. Translation. 7 devotees Advaita Nityananda Haridas Thakura Vakreshwara Srivasa Thakura Raghava Pandita and Gadadhar Pandita formed 7 groups and began dancing. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, chanting Hari Bol, wandered from one group to another.
So this was when we had done the Rath Yatra pastimes, we knew that how 7 groups are formed. One is the lead singer, one is the lead dancer, and there are other 4 Mridanga players and 2 Kartar players. So like that, 7 groups are formed, and tumultuous kirtan happens during the Rath Yatra. So that is what has been told here, because that happens every Rath Yatra. Mataji, next one.
Chauda Madala Baje Ucha Sankirtana Eka Natakera Preme Basila Bhuvana. Translation. 14 mridangas resounded with the loud congregational chanting, and in each group was a dancer whose dance of ecstatic love inundated the entire world.
Yeah, you can continue reading. There's one more set you can finish.
Yes. Yeah. Dekhi Vallabha Bhatera Haila Chamatkara Anande Vihvala Nahi Apanas Tambala. Translation. Seeing all this, Vallabha Bhatta was completely astonished. He was overwhelmed by transcendental bliss and lost himself.
So that kind of overwhelming happiness was endowed blessed by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because he served the Vaishnavas, he understood his fault, he served the Vaishnavas, he became humble, and that Mahaprabhu was very happy, and so he was able to see that that great Rath Yatra situation, and his heart was completely captured, and that was the greatest mercy of Lord Chaitanya on Vallabha Bhatta. Mataji, next one.
तबे महाप्रभु सबारा नृत्य राखीला पूर्ववत अपने नृत्य करीते लागिला. Translation: Then Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stopped the dancing of the others, and as he had done previously, he personally began to dance.
Yeah, next one.
प्रभुरा सौंदर्य देखी यार प्रेमोदया एईता साक्षात कृष्ण भटेरा हैला निश्चया. Translation: Seeing the beauty of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the awakening of his ecstatic love, Vallabha Bhatta concluded, "Here is Lord Krishna without a doubt."
So that is a very important lesson. When we look, be a little humble and we try to imbibe the qualities which we hear consciously and very scrutinizingly in our life, in our day-to-day activities, deep realizations come from the core of our heart. Otherwise, the realizations which are covered realizations, covered understanding about ourselves, about the greatness of ourselves, or we are all covered with that covered understanding. But when we want to really, when we serve, when we render devotional service with that conscious, sincere heart, then deep realization from the core of the heart comes, because Lord is residing in the core of our heart and He gives that understanding. And now Vallabha Bhatta could clearly understand the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is none other than the Supreme Personality of God. So that was a very big, big mercy which he got from Lord Chaitanya. Yes, Mataji, next one.
एता माता रथा यात्रा सकले देखिला प्रभुरा चरित्रे भट्टेरा चमत्कार हैला. Translation: Thus Vallabha Bhatta witnessed the car festival. He was simply astonished by the characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Every moment his heart was just looking forward and he was yearning and he was completely captivated by the characteristics and the mercy of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, Mataji, last one for today.
यात्रानन्तरे भट्टायायि महाप्रभु स्थाने प्रभु चरणे कुचु कैला निवेदने. Translation: One day after the festival was over, Vallabha Bhatta went to the abode of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and submitted a request at the lotus feet of the Lord.
So previously also Vallabha Bhatta had come to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but that what his mood was totally different. Mahaprabhu spoke to him, he glorified Krishna, he told about these devotees, and then Vallabha Bhatta chose to change his heart. He served the devotees, he saw the Rath Yatra festival, Lord captured and Lord kind of entered his heart and gave him the deep realization. And now Mahaprabhu Vallabha Bhatta has come again with a request to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now his understanding is completely changed. Okay, thank you very much, devotees. Granthra Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhayavacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji.
Mataji, thank you, Dandavata.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Krishna. Pranam.